of a felon. Now back to the Natalie Holloway mystery. Joran Van Der Sloot was one of the last known people to see Natalie alive. He is a criminal suspect in Aruba, and now he's facing a civil suit here in the United States. Let's bring in our legal panel. Live in Sacramento, former prosecutor Jim Hammer. Criminal defense attorney Jeff Brown is live in Tampa, and criminal defense attorney Bernie Grimm is live here in Washington, and Ted Williams is on vacation, I understand. But anyway.
Yeah, Ted's not here because he's afraid. busted on personal jurisdiction. We're all here on a mea culpa.
All right, mea culpa. All right. Before we get to that, Bernie, the idea of the service in this, I mean, I'm still somewhat intrigued by the service. We just had Larry Garrison on who talked about an email that went out to the blog world suggesting that Joran was headed here. He said Julia Renfro is writing a book. I talked to her today. She denies writing a book. I don't know whether she is or not, but whatever. But it's interesting how well orchestrated this service was.
It's amazing, and as we were tracking it from last Wednesday or Thursday, whenever they gained service on him, I was wondering somewhere along the line somebody leaked that he was going to be on that plane. You've done a great job trying to figure out who it was. I'm not sure who it is now.
I still don't know.
I still don't know. I looked at your last interview, and that person surmised who it might be, but I can't imagine that. But John Q. Kelly and his crew certainly knew, because the guy was right on the plane, right behind Joran Van Der Sloot.
Jeff, does this civil suit have any impact on the criminal investigation?
No impact at all. I think the only impact that it could possibly have is a negative impact. Beth Twitty says she wants answers. She's not going to get a single answer out of this lawsuit. They'll never appear here. They'll never answer questions. So if answers is what she wants and it's the reason for this lawsuit, I think Jim Hammer and Bernie will both agree with me. There's not a single answer ever coming out of this lawsuit.
But does that make it negative, or does that make it neutral?
Well, I think that makes it neutral, but I think it's a negative impact on here because now they're suing for money. She can say she doesn't want money, but the lawsuit specifically is asking for money. And I think that puts a negative connotation on it. And, you know, when John Q was up here and he started saying that he forgot to tell the Aruban authorities that he was filing this lawsuit, I think that's the same kind of behavior that they accused Aruba of. And to me, now they both have unclean hands. And I don't think it makes anybody look good.
Well, I need to correct you on the money thing. I mean, first of all, every civil suit, you know, is a claim for money. I mean, you don't have any choice. I mean, I don't think that's necessarily a motivation in anything. I mean, it doesn't even.
They do have a choice. They don't have to file the lawsuit.
No. But
don't say that you're asking for money if you're not.
No. When you file a lawsuit, you can either, I mean, you ask for money in every civil lawsuit. That's routine. The reason I understand that this lawsuit was filed, whether you buy it or not, whether it stays in court or not, is to get discovery, to get people under oath and ask questions. Now, whether that ever happens is another question. But it's not. I mean, I think if she went out,
then they're abusing the process.
What?
Then they're abusing the process. If they're filing this lawsuit with no intentions to seek damages and they're trying to use it for another reason, they're abusing the process.
Right. I think I have a right to file a civil suit, but I won't quibble with you. Jim, your thoughts on this? You agree with Jeff?
Well, I think if it had been a true-false test, by the way, we would have passed, but an essay we would have blown last Friday after hearing the law professor today. Listen, I think this case will be tossed out at this point. If they could do anything with it, I don't think it's deposing Joran or the Kalpa brothers, because they're not coming back to stand for deposition. But I think one of the most intriguing things, Greta, in that complaint is this allegation of a pattern of abusing women, apparently 2 or 3 in the past alleged women in the past that Joran did the same kind of thing with. If those are Americans and this lawsuit lasts long enough, they could be deposed. And again, if they could develop that kind of pattern, I'll tell you, that'd be very damning evidence. That might help Aruban prosecutors if they don't have the evidence already.
But, you know, it's sort of interesting. I mean, it seems to me that as a practical matter, this lawsuit, whether it goes forward or doesn't, whether it gets thrown out for being in an inconvenient place or not, if it does go forward, that they will never answer to discovery, that they will probably do what's called default. I mean, that's what I would advise them if I were the lawyers, the Joran Van Der Sloot family, just default.
I agree. Hey, Greta, there's one last thing in your interview of Beth, something really came across this time. There's a very different tone in this woman. 2 months ago, she seemed absolutely hopeless. I think John Q. Kelly has done a great job behind the scenes reestablishing contact with Aruban authorities, and that's given Beth some peace, so I thank God for that.
Yes, but except the fear is that you go up, you go down, you go up, you go down. I mean,
I know, but at least,
you know, it's a roller coaster.
They're talking again, and she's getting some communication, at least through her lawyer, and that's some progress, I think.
Well, I think what John Q. Kelly is trying to do, would like to do, is put pressure on Karen Janssen, the prosecutor. That's where the answers lie. No matter what happened in Aruba, it's got to be the prosecutor who decides, if there's a crime and who committed it.
Right. I mean, I agree with Jeff, but on the last page of the complaint, they don't specify a dollar amount that they're looking for.
Well, you don't even plead. I mean, that's probably a New York rule. I mean, that's just. I mean,
right. But Beth Holloway, she's looking for answers. She's not looking for money. If you told her we'll give you $1 billion or we give you your daughter back, I mean, it's an easy answer.
Absolutely.
What this will do here is perhaps provoke or jumpstart Karen Janssen into saying, you know what, maybe the allegations in this complaint are true. Maybe all I have is a sexual assault. I'll nail him on that. Jeff could be right saying, you know what, we tried to do it the right way, and listen, now you backdoored us with this lawsuit, so now we're not going to cooperate at all.
Well, and that would be indeed a tragedy because it's Karen Janssen who ultimately holds the power in all of this. Gentlemen, as always, thank you.
Thanks, Chris.
Coming up, New York City is the site of the worst terror attack in U.S. history, so why is a country with terror ties taking control of